right, and we are live. I'm Dinaru. Welcome to the
Hey,
Arcane Gate.
Charles Walker here, and Arlynia, how about you introduce yourself there, buddy?
Well, hello everyone. My name is Arly for short. You can call me Arlynia. And I normally play games that are in the sim game range, like The Sims and Animal Crossing is mainly what I do. But in my spare time, I have been known to go off on an adventure or two in D&D.
There you
So,
go. That's good.
yep,
Good.
you can find me here on Twitch and sometimes in Discord playing D&D.
Awesome. All right.
Have you played any D&D remotely lately, or has it just been table?
You know, I've never actually done tabletop. I've only done remote.
Really?
Yeah, I've never
Okay.
had a tabletop D&D experience. I don't know what that's like. So like I was telling you guys a little bit earlier, my brother is actually the one he's been playing D&D for several years, and he just recently got into DMing. And so, like I said, he's away at college right now. So kind of like in his spare time, he comes up with different quests for us to do, and we all coordinate it through Discord. He has a map drawn up for us and everything. So
Nice.
I guess my question is, what's the difference between a tabletop experience versus a remote experience?
To me, I've learned it really depends person to person who you ask, because some people prefer to online, some people prefer the face-to-face.
Mhm.
Me, I'm a face-to-face guy. Like, I feel I don't know, I like face-to-face connectivity a lot better to me, but I know it doesn't work for everyone's schedule sometimes. But for me, when it comes to role-playing and just playing with other people, it's a lot easier to stay focused and have fun together and able to role-play and everything. But I imagine for some people, not being face-to-face, it's easier for them.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was gonna ask. Is it easier to like slip into character more? I don't know. Just because you're all around and in a group.
A little bit. I know with remote, there's like that slight delay. Like even just like talking with us, like there's a slight delay.
Yeah.
So whenever you're role playing, it's a little bit harder to, I guess, mesh with everyone and feel everyone's character and get in the moment. Plus, if you talk over each other, you can't hear anyone. Versus in real life, you can hear all around you.
Right. Perfect. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and that's that's a good point. Reading facial expressions does make a big point thing, I imagine, especially if you're doing it just over chat.
Yeah. I wonder then if like maybe to enhance the atmosphere, if like maybe there's a bot that we could use that would play like spooky sounds when we enter like a spooky place or something. Do you guys do anything like that? Or do you play mostly remote or mostly tabletop?
I am mixed. I'm pretty much the forever DM, but the only game I play in is online because I got a group of friends that I've played with since the very beginning. They're old friends of me and Travis from college, and I pretty much the only way we can meet because some live in Huntsville, some live in other areas. Our main way of being able to actually meet on a set schedule is through Roll20 and stuff like that. And that's mainly what my experience with online play is. We only recently started on the Saturday games, but me normally I'm a in-person only.
Okay,
And
that's cool.
yours has been about the same, hasn't it, Troy? Because when we first started playing, we were all playing in person.
Oh yeah, I was first like a face to face, but a lot of my friends that I went to college with are all over the place. One's Japan, Nevada, and all that stuff. So we can't really meet face to face.
Yeah.
So we've just been theater of the minding it. We're still looking for our desired board setup.
Okay.
Yeah, if you never heard, there's a site called Roll20 Arlynia where you can actually design maps and you can have your character sheets all on there as well.
Oh, cool. Yeah. I don't think we've used that one. Yeah, I know I've used something that like looks up all the spells because I play a druid elf. So I'm always like constantly like looking in there for like, wait, can I have this spell?
That's fair, honestly. I used there's an app I have called the Spellbook app, and it's so handy. Treywick's got the same, I do believe.
Yeah.
Okay. Does it cost very much?
Oh, it's free.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
it's free on Android. I'm
I'm iPhone.
Okay.
It
I'm
should.
sorry.
I'm sorry.
If there's a copy. Yeah.
We can't help you. I'm sorry.
Although D&D Beyond, if you have the material, like the books or whatever, is really good. It's just it costs. You have to have the material.
That's the one that we're using, and I think my brother has the material, but I don't have the material. So I get like sometime that's the only thing, and I don't. Maybe you guys can talk a little bit about that as somebody who just started playing, like I said, like 6 months ago. Why is some of the material blocked off on places like that? Because I will look up a spell and I'm like, wait, I don't even know what it does because it says I have to have the book.
It's essentially D&D Beyond's a fairly new thing. It only started up like a year or so ago, I think, and it was just kind of like to be a trial version of D&D, just to get you hooked, so you have to buy more and more.
Oh, okay.
And it's a pretty smart idea, because the actual D&D books are fairly expensive, especially if you go to like a bookstore or something. Amazon, you can get them for like $30 each, but like Books A Million, they still sell them for like $50.
Oh God.
Yeah, so
Isn't it
D&D
cheap
Beyond? Yeah, yeah. D&D Beyond, it kind of started as just a way to have a lot of the basic stuff accessible for people, so they can at least get their foot in the door and see how they like it.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think it's pretty good service, and they've been pretty cool, honestly.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, that's kind of how they function. Is you can buy the books digitally, and you'll have access to everything on them through that.
Website.
And yeah, your brother, there should be a thing he could do where he can share the books with you, because what we do in our campaign is one of our players has access to all the books, and he sets up a campaign on there and adds everyone to it, and everyone in that campaign has access to his books.
Well, that makes sense, because if you own a book in real life, you literally have it on the table in front of everybody. So
Right.
if you have 8 people in your campaign, they're all viewing that same book. No.
Yeah. So
okay, cool.
that's how it's set up, and it's a pretty handy system, because does everyone in our group use D&D Beyond, Trevor?
I believe everyone does, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's just what they do. Some people have in real life character sheets, but I know some people use it just for the spells and stuff, because it's really good for spell management, I'm not going to lie.
That's my favorite part of it. It makes it so easy to look up. If I'm looking for like a certain type of effect, at least I don't know why. Maybe I'm looking for prone. Like I feel like I can filter and get the search results that I need.
Oh yeah, they did a really good job of making their own program user friendly. Whereas there's so many apps that you have to kind of search for different things, like, oh, how many spells can I cast?
Yeah.
That one's just like right there in front of you, which is nice.
Yeah, I do like that part of it.
Back when Will was DMing for me, there was one app he was hooked on called Squire.
Different Will.
And yeah, not Rocket Bunch Will.
Okay.
Yeah, not Rocket Bunch Will.
Yeah. This is a friend of ours from college. He found this app called Squire he really liked and wanted all of us to switch to X. He's a really digital person, and literally it was handy, but you had to program every single one of your spells into it individually.
Ooh.
Yeah,
like a front-loaded time sink.
It could have been updated better now, but in this early version of it, that's all you could do, if I remember right. At least it let you get some basic things in there, and other than that, you had to program everything in there. I'm like, I'm just gonna stick to paper.
Yeah. Oh, Brad actually posted the D&D Beyond, like, how to share form.
Oh, cool. Oh, yeah, nice.
So that's great.
Thank you, Brad. You can go back to roasting us now.
Oh, he mentioned that he was surprised that you didn't have a PS4 controller in your hand.
I have it on rest mode in the living room right now. I'm going to be honest. As soon as this session's over, I'm going back.
Told you who's hiding it. Post was 2 years old. Might be faulty, but
I don't know. It's worth a try.
Yeah. It just zooms out. My TV's literally right in front of y'all, and I'm just playing at my feet.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm hooked, I'm not going to lie. I literally debated on cutting work today just to play it.
He's asked if your wife was playing it and who's she forcing you to social link with.
She's good. She's still playing Animal Crossing.
Yes.
See, that's the trick. Get her Animal Crossing, so then you'll
then
have...
you get unlimited time with the PS4.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, that was kind of my bait, where I was just like, I set up the Switch in our bedroom, and I'm just like, here, you can just keep playing your run of Pokemon. I'm gonna be busy.
Yeah.
Indefinitely.
Nice.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah.
that's the thing is, I'm playing Animal Crossing every day, so she needs anything. I'm not time traveling though, so.
Oh, starting that debate.
The Puritan.
I'm so glad y'all know that.
Yep.
I'm so happy.
I only know about it because I think someone was freaking out on AlphaRad for it. And that's the only reason I knew about it, was someone is calling him a fake Animal Crossing fan because he time traveled.
You cheated not only the game, but yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just amazed by it. I'm like, seriously? That's a thing?
Oh yeah.
Like I can understand, but at that point, it's just like, wow, you're projecting your own life way too hard in this own game.
Yeah, people play games however they want to play.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Play the game that you want to play. It's not hurting anybody.
Yeah.
It's the most harmless thing ever.
Do you all ever have anything like that in D&D community where people are like, no, you can't play the game this way. It has to be this way. Oh my god, I got a head on the wall.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Me, I have a very love-hate relationship with a lot of things in D&D. Cause I'll say, most of my experience with the community, it's been overwhelmingly great. There's only just a few pockets I've had trouble with. It's just what I think it is. It's a lot of people that have been playing it since they were kids that either love the new style or hate the new style, or it's the people that get really hipsterish with anything gets big.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Where basically they don't like that their niche thing became a big thing. And yeah, like back when I only had about 100 subs on YouTube, I made a video on what's called the Matt Mercer effect. And
oh yeah. No, I am familiar with them.
oh,
Yeah.
Okay. Have you heard of the Matt Mercer effect?
I haven't heard of it, but I know like his campaigns and stuff.
Yeah. So full disclosure, I'm a huge fan of him. I love that guy.
Yeah.
And there's a big rift in the community of people that like him and people that don't like him. And I made a video on it talking about it because I just had a day off work and I read about it in the morning on Reddit of all things. So that was my first mistake. Because I will say that the worst encounters I've had with D&D fans have been in the D&D Reddits.
Oh no, I hate to hear that.
Yeah, one of my first experiences as a DM, I was asking for advice on naming NPCs, and as a joke, I started naming all the town guards after red versus blue characters. And someone left a comment where it's like, were they all goofy characters? Like, I mean, there's town guards. I just had that as a joke. So, okay, good. Nothing's worse than a semi-serious campaign. Like,
what?
God dang, why do you play?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, because we're literally okay. I love Bulbasaur, #1 favorite Pokemon. He's #1 in the Dex for a reason. But my character literally carries around a totem that has a cabbage frog on
I
it.
feel you.
Yo, that's what's up. That's what's up. Wait.
Hey, oh, yours is bigger.
I knew
This
Mine's
is
so
my
small
son.
compared to yours.
This is my son.
Yeah. So, yeah, and it's just having fun with your friends. So I'm just like, how can you not crack a joke? Jeez.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I want things to be serious at times, but I can't imagine never making a joke.
Yeah.
But anyways, the Matt Mercer effect was basically described as it was a Reddit thread that went huge where someone was complaining that he thought Matt Mercer was ruining his game because all of his players had these insane expectations of the game. And he was basically complaining about all these new players that were just coming in expecting these huge games and getting average people playing, not trained actors.
Oh,
And-
wow.
And I just kind of laughed it off. I'm like, well, that's a silly thing to complain about. I mean, them people shouldn't have them expectations in the first place.
Yeah.
And no, it got big to the point where Matt Mercer himself actually responded to it.
Oh, my
Saying-
word. Yeah.
Yeah, because he said he was heartbroken that someone was literally reacting like this about him.
Oh, wow.
Because Matt's been playing like his whole life, so
Yeah.
at least in, I think early college is when he started. But yeah, so I was just amazed by it, and no one was really talking about it, so I made a video saying my thoughts on it, because most people I told them to go to Critical Role and some of his DM tip videos, because he had some really good videos on how to play.
Yeah.
So I felt like I should respond to it. That video went up like to nearly 1,000 views over a week.
Oh, wow.
And at that point, one of my biggest videos was like maybe 100 views.
Yeah.
Like, that's how big it got. It was crazy. And I'm still kind of baffled by it because because when I was looking into it, there was a lot of people that were really salty over Critical Role and just didn't like him in general. The weirdest to me was a Facebook thread I was going down, and that's another place I noticed some of the Facebook D&D communities have been weirdly, But I saw like 3 different people make complaints somehow about how attractive they were, like because someone referred to it as like, I don't want to watch attractive people play D&D or just roll. And somehow 3 of them posts all related to their attractiveness level. And I'm like, God, y'all sound so salty.
Denora's face right now.
What?
Yeah, it's. Yeah, I've been blown away by that because, and also on Instagram, I've had some interesting people follow me. Like, I had one guy follow me called Dungeons and Deadlifts.
I love that name.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a great username, and he's jacked, and I'm just like, oh, hey, that's a cool guy.
Yeah, because what those people in the Facebook threads were basically saying is that, and I forgive me, this is going to sound really, really harsh, but they're basically saying attractive means not nerd. Like,
Yeah, yeah. Wait, were you there when that happened, Treywit?
I don't.
No.
No, I wasn't.
Okay, when we were first at college, one girl literally walked up to me and Seth and said, "You know, you'd be a lot more attractive if you weren't such a nerd."
like,
Yeah, and I had that response, and I've also had her. Yeah. I've never had someone downright say I shouldn't be a nerd. It's more like people are just like, wow, this guy doesn't look like the part. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll take it.
but you know what? I feel like that's interesting that you even bring that whole thing up because I don't know about you, but So Matt Mercer, I think what you were talking about, spot on. That brought it to like more like the public eye, but also I think Stranger Things. I think Stranger Things really romanticized the game and really like people who are on that whole like I want to be 80s, let's bring back the 80s, like they hopped into that. Because I mean, you can go to Target. I've actually thought about picking it up, and I don't know how you guys feel about stuff like this, but they have a Stranger Things one-shot campaign of D&D that features like the Demogorgon and stuff like they had in so you can play Will's campaign.
Yeah, I've been tempted to get it solely to get the Demogorgon figure. I really like it. Because I have the actual D&D Demogorgon figure, so I was wanting to get it and Stranger Things Demogorgon.
Yeah. But that's what I was
so
going
I
to
have both
say.
of them.
It's like, do you think that stuff like that in pop culture has really pushed new people to the game? And like, do you think the game's kind of changed because of that?
I think at least that level of familiarity helped it a lot, because I think at the minimum, that's all it really needed was just to get that familiarity so people can maybe understand more what it was, because I didn't know what it was till I was in college, because, well, going to a small country town, it was that and Magic the Gathering was kind of associated to Satanism in my area. So I didn't really understand what it was. Then I actually got more of an idea and saw how cool it looked, and like, hey, I want to try this. So
also,
I feel.
Oh, sorry.
You go ahead.
Oh, also, like, also think it did change the game a little bit, but not in a bad way.
No.
One, it brings it more into the light. People, like you said, more people are going to know about it. But it is also going to bring a whole new breed of people that's going to add something to the game. Not take anything away. And that's what it's all about. Yeah.
And like I said, a good example personally is Treywick Bentz. He actually never played D&D before until he met me, but he watched all of Critical Role, and that gave him that familiarity, and at least he had the idea of how the dynamics at the table work, like role-playing and stuff. He had that familiarity with it just enough to where he jumped in more natural than I've seen a lot of people jump into the game.
Yeah.
And I like it because my point of view on it is I really don't have that problem with a lot of people getting into something. I'm happy that people can get into something I enjoy.
Yeah.
Especially with D&D, because growing up as if I tried to get into D&D, I'm sure I couldn't have found anyone to play with, but now there's a big interest in it. I actually have a lot of people that come up to me and ask if I know any games that are open, or I could run a game for them, because there's people interested in playing it or want to play more.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Yeah, and Critical Role helped open that gate for people to be more interested in it.
Yeah. I can totally see that, for sure.
Oh, yeah. And yeah, that's my thoughts on it. Other than that, it's a good game overall. I wouldn't like say it's a problem at all. I mean, that could be a problem, but I feel like those will just be problem players entirely if they're putting these otherworldly expectations on someone just in their spare time writing a campaign just for fun.
Yeah.
Instead of people that are paid to do it.
Right.
Also, if they have those expectations, they probably have not built up that skill or style of themselves yet. So it's kind of unfair to expect it from someone else.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that makes total sense.
Yeah, I think it's good though for people to basically have that goal to shoot for. I mean, that's my goal. I hope I could be that good of a storyteller or voice actor one day.
Oh, yeah, you want to always have like your high goals, but you don't want to expect too much out of someone else.
Oh yeah, that just depressed me when I compare our two campaigns together.
Wait, do y'all run separate campaigns, or are y'all do y'all play together?
I'm talking about Matt Mercer's campaign versus mine.
Okay.
He's wanting to start one eventually, though.
Pretty soon, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You need an elf druid?
Hey, I'm getting things together. Because like I already, like for me, I guess like a background update, I have everything set up. Like I have my story, the world, all that stuff. It's just finding time and players.
Yeah.
That's really it.
Yeah.
I will say one thing that I really have trouble with, and to this day it's still not on my character sheet,
Mhm.
is and maybe you guys can give me some pointers on this, is my brother who's the DM, he told me, he said, your character needs a backstory. Right now it's a murder hobo. And I'm like, I don't know. What? He's like, just make a backstory. So, like, how do you go about making a good character backstory? And how does that help you in the campaign when you're playing? Or how do you bring those elements of the backstory in?
Well, I know for me, like, I can't even play a character unless I have some kind of backstory in some way, because even if I don't have the backstory, I need to know who the character is. And once you know who your character is, you can play them better. A lot of things is based off of maybe I want my character to have a certain personality. So either it's something I made up or a character that I'm just like inspired by. Might not be the exact same class or anything like that, but I choose the skills based off of my background. Now, let's say you already have your skills. So what you could do is the reverse. Figure out, like, how did my character get this?
Oh, okay, yeah, that's a good point.
So instead of, having your background, like, all right, what skills would they logically have? If you have no idea for a background and you just want your character to be useful, sometimes going backwards is the best bet.
Okay, that's a good idea. Maybe I should look at my character sheet then after this and try to come up with a backstory, and I'll update y'all.
All right.
You summarized it really well. So you don't have any of the books, do you?
No, none.
Okay, that's perfectly fine. I was going to say something we could do for fun then for your first backstory. Xanthar's Guide added a really cool system where if you want to make it having trouble coming up with an idea, you can actually roll for a backstory.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
So that's something I learned when I don't really have an idea, is I'll sometimes read some of the background details or the class details and try and think how a character like that would fit into it. Like with a druid, I would think, okay, what's a forest in this area? Is that forest having any conflict? How would my druid fit in there? Would I be some native medicine man? Would I be some crazy hermit living in the woods on the outskirts of town?
Yeah.
Would I be some guardian of nature when someone's deforesting an area? Would I be some kind of just otherworldly being when this town that isn't really known for magic thinks I'm a witch or something?
Yeah. Encountered that.
Yeah. Stuff like that. Oh yeah, here we go actually. Trevik, roll a d6 for me, or someone in chat roll it and press the number as fast as you possibly can.
Brad also mentioned. Oh, Brad said 5.
Oh, 5. Brad got it. Brad, you were on it, dang.
Yeah. He also said, how do we feel about the Grognard idea where the first 3 levels should be your backstory?
That's interesting, but to me, your character didn't just spawn out of the ether. They're a part of this world. They needed to have something they were doing beforehand. I feel like if it's the actual campaign books, it would matter a lot less, because the world's not really built with them in it. The world's built, and you're just adding your character to it. But especially in a homebrew campaign, I feel like you should at least have an idea where you came from and what you did, because more than likely, as an adventurer, you'd have some influence in that area. Or at the least, you'd have some personal ties to some areas.
Yeah. I would like to make a counterpoint of I agree with you. It shouldn't be like you just spawned and your character doesn't have any history whatsoever. But the first 3 levels, your character isn't proficient in your class. You're not this great adventurer yet. So having those levels develop your character more and focus on those 3 levels being, this is what my character is going to become. What is happening in this campaign to influence my character? And going on forward. Sort of like I did with my gnome wizard.
Yeah. That's fair.
I had
Smee did spawn out of the ether.
Yeah. So Smee was an example of a character that I just spawned. I didn't have a backstory for him. he was just escaped this pirate base that everyone's going to. He was a trickster, and from then on, he ended up just being this powerful wizard because we needed damage. So he knew one damage spell. It helped him. All right, needs to learn some more. Eventually, he became this utility of just damage.
Yeah.
And that's not how I started the character. And I had no intentions of making him that way, but the world just kind of influenced him.
I can definitely see that. I put Moonbeam on my elf because we really needed damage. Oh no, it's OP. It's broken.
Such a good spell. I love
it.
Moonbeam.
Is such a good one.
I've never played a druid yet, and I'm
should.
wanting to because of Moonbeam.
Oh god, it's so much fun. I love it.
Moonbeam's really good, but if they had a really good spell, I'd say it ain't broken, but it's really good. Call Lightning's a really good one for druids.
Oh yeah. What level is that one?
3rd level, so you should get it at 5th level.
I just hit 5, so I may look at that one.
Yeah, Call Lightning's a good one. But anyway, so for druids, there's an actual table for I became a druid because.
Oh, cool.
And a 5 on that is, while I was growing up, I saw spirits all around me, entities no one else could perceive. I sought out the druids to help me understand these visions and communicate with these beings.
Hey, that would actually work pretty good.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So there you go. You have the origin of your character right there.
Yeah. Yeah, the book has a lot of good, like, bounds, flaws, and, like, sort of reasons to become your class.
Right.
A lot of times, like, if you roll and you don't like it, like, you don't feel like you can play it, depending on, like, how your DM plays. Like, everyone DMs differently and manages their characters differently. I, for one, if I'm building a character and I don't know who he is yet, I might read the bonds, the flaws, the traits, and kind of feel out what makes more sense.
Right.
Be like, okay, I want my character to be like this, or this doesn't sound like a character I'd play, and just go with that.
Yeah.
Okay, while I'm looking at this, I will say one gripe. It has a life event section, but the life event sections are separated by how old you are, but the highest goes to 61 years. So that means an elf should have like 1 million life events if we're going by the scale that you get more in the span of 60 years.
Yeah, I know. It's like they live forever.
Yeah. 750 years, and at over 61 years, you have 1d12 life events. So I guess you just roll a second d100 as an elf, and that's how many life events you've had.
Dang.
But anyways, yeah, they also have a life event thing. Like, for example, is if you roll like a 1, you suffered a tragedy, roll on a tragedy table. I should have had one that isn't a pick your own adventure one. First one on tragedy, a family member, close friend of yours died. Roll on the cause of death. God dang it! I'm trying to sell you, I swear! Choose your own adventure, D&D edition. Page 1, stage 2.
There's so much
You
to
died.
build a character.
You have died of dysentery.
Your character died before you even started. It's like, what? Okay. Roll new character.
And then you came back, and now you're a warlock. Dun, dun, dun.
That's another character idea that I have, by the way.
That's a monk thing, ain't it? Where your monk thing came from, you came back from the light. It's the path to the. I have a feeling that's one thing.
Warlock, I know there is. It's Undying, I believe.
I'm pretty sure you get your powers from a lich or some powerful undead for Undying.
Then I don't know. There might be a monk one. It's been a while since I looked at monks.
For what? I don't know. There's a lot of death-based ones. But yeah, I could. But yeah, you ever want to help work on a character story? We can do it, Arlynia.
Oh, that'd be amazing. When we get up and running back again, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. So, that's what I would say is, like he was saying, I feel like you need some kind of story to kind of guide your actions in the game, because Now, not to say you're a murder hobo, but I've noticed that could be a problem some people have, is if they just do things compulsively with no moral compass at all, that could kind of be a murder hobo.
I'm the one who's, if I would argue, I'm the one who's not the murder hobo, because like there have been times the party has wanted to kill somebody and I'm like, no, literally we got everything we just wanted out of them, just let them live. And they're like, no, we have to dispatch them now. And I'm like, what are you gonna get? You've already frisked their pockets. Like, just let them live. They may come back and help us later.
That's sweet experience.
All that experience for killing a helpless NPC.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
You know, that's how you broke the game in the earlier editions, because ants were worth 1 experience each. So you just boiled an anthill and go up a few levels instantly.
What?
Yep.
Because there's like thousands of ants in a colony, and they're worth 1 experience each.
I have never heard of this. Holy cow.
That was the thing in earlier editions.
That's why that's not a thing anymore.
I was gonna say, the things I've learned tonight, man.
When you're invested in a D&D community like mine, you look at something just a joke, and you're like, wait, that's real. Then you look into it, and you're like, oh, wow, people do that.
I mean, I'm not surprised with some of the things that people come up with. I try my best.
You're one of those people, Treywick.
I know.
You would have boiled the anthill if no one else did.
I so would have.
Oh my god!
I'm sad that I missed my opportunity.
You ever watch our streams, you will come up with the most silly stuff. That's my favorite thing, where it's like, how far apart is the enter cap? I'm like, 20 foot. Okay, I cast sleep on. I'm like, you son of a gun, okay.
Yep.
Like, we're going there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because he climbed up the side of a wall like 50 foot.
Mm-hmm.
So he's trying to make him sleep, so he'd drop and take all the fall damage.
No, my favorite was like telling like our Otisfer is like, alright, if you do that fire spell again, it's okay if I'm hit by it.
I forgot about that, yeah!
Because there's a spell called Absorb Elements. And what it does is you gain resistance to the elemental damage, and then you get an extra, you can use that element on your next attack.
Okay.
And it adds damage. I cast it 2nd level, and I ended up critting. So I attacked with my rapier, and like, what was it 2d8 and 4d6? Something like that?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, because you doubled the damage.
It was
and you eviscerated it in 1 shot.
Like, it was way too much for that fighter. But
yeah,
it got the job done and it looked cool.
Absorb Element's also a druid spell.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a handy one. I think it is anyways. I got the book right here. I'm going to check, so I'm not going to confuse you. Yeah, Absorb Element's something you can get.
Cool. What level is it? Do you still have it open?
1st level.
Yeah.
Ooh, I may have bypassed that one. But I can always go back and pick it up, right?
Yep. Something druids can do, you can actually change your spells every day.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is news to me. Alright, tell me.
Druid is a really good class to start out with because of this. That you can actually pick and choose.
Okay.
Yeah, clerics and druids both and paladins all have the ability to, starting at the beginning of the day, they can change their spells.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like after a long rest, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right. But preparing casting spells, you know how many spells you have equal. The druid spell shows how many spell slots you have to cast 1st level or higher. To cast 20 spells, you must expend a spell slot. Prepare a list of druid spells that are available to you to cast. Choose from the druid spell list. When you do so, choose the number of spells equal to your wisdom modifier plus your druid level. You can change your list of prepared spells when you finish a long rest. Preparing a new list of druid spells requires time spent in prayer and meditation, at least 1 minute per spell level for each spell on your list.
Okay. Interesting.
So yeah, you can completely swap your spell list as soon as this ends, technically.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm sitting here looking at the ones I have. I really like and I'm attached to, but there's a couple that I'm like, based on the scenario that we're kind of in, we're like where we left off. I'm like, maybe I should have picked that one instead. So it's nice to know that we can like swap them out, rotate them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, druids are really good for that because a lot of their spells are really situational, especially the ones that deal with nature and stuff.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, totally. I found that.
Yeah, because one of their best spells is called Wrath of Nature, and it's one my wife absolutely loves. And it's basically nature will come alive around your enemies and attack them. Like trees will attack them, rocks will get thrown at them, vines and grass will lash out at them.
Yeah.
It's like a 6th level spell, and yeah, she just like she decided she wasn't going to be the healer because someone swapped the cleric, and she was so tired of being the healer, like, you know, and she swapped her entire spell list around, and now DM didn't know about it, put us in the middle of a fight with a big wooded area. And
oh no!
She wrecked. That was my favorite moment where she cast all that, then she's like, okay, I cast this spell, and the DM's like, you cast what? What is that spell? And she listed everything it does. He's like,
oh.
You can what? And my favorite was one of your favorites, Dust Devil Treywick. He's like, okay, I like to cast Dust Devil, and he's like, what the F is that?
Druids are really good utility for everything. Like, if your party is lacking in one thing or the other, like if they're lacking in damage, lacking in healing, if you need a tank, druids are the really good subclass for it.
I'm mainly healer because, and I can do like some damage. Like I said, I have Moonbeam, but we have 2 barbarians. We have 2 barbarians. They're brothers. They're hilarious. We also have 1 wizard, and we used to have somebody else, but they kind of dropped off. So literally, you're rolling out with a druid, 2 barbarians, and a wizard.
Oh, they need you to heal.
Yeah.
One you should look at then. It's one of the best healing spells that druids only get. It's called Healing Spirit. It's basically, it's a 2nd level spell. You call forth nature spirits to soothe wounds. The spirit arrives in a space that's equal to a 5-foot cube. You can see within range. Until the spell ends, whenever you or a creature moves into the spirit space for the first time on a turn, it regains 1d6 health points.
Oh, wow, yeah.
So it's just basically a little pool of healing that people just walk in and out of.
Oh, yeah, that's nice. Yeah.
And you can move it, so you could honestly conga line your party and fully heal them. It's
you can
more
bonus action move it thing.
Yeah, it is more effective out of combat. So, like, let's say you don't have time for a short rest, but your entire party's just like really badly damaged. Well, you can cast that spell and just like, move through it,
like huddle up.
Yeah, and just go through, fully heal your party for the next fight, and all you cast was a 2nd level spell, and no time was lost.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good.
It's a 5-foot cube, so yeah, all 4 of your party members could get in it.
Nice.
I love that. 2 barbarians.
2 barbarians. They're brothers. One of their names is Mongo. Hold on, I'll get you the other one's name.
Please tell me the other one's name is Congo.
It's something like that.
Wombo combo.
That's what we're gonna call them. Let's see. Mongo and all the windows. I think I want to say it's like Mongo and Strongo or something like that. Like,
yay!
It's hilarious, and they play it like Mongo hungry.
I love it.
Really barbarians.
Yes.
Oh,
I also love that you being a druid as well. It's a lot of crazy folk from nature. Then there's the very dignified wizard.
Yeah.
Yes.
The book learned
Yes. It is like if ever there was a party of hobos, that's us, because we're just like this ragtag crew.
Yeah.
What kind of druid are you?
I believe that I came from, I think it was the mountains. Hold on, let me reference my character sheet.
I think your circle of the land, then, if you're where you're from, has a lot to do with it.
Yeah. Actually, no, sorry. It looks like I decided on Outlander.
Oh, okay. He means what circle of druid you are,
Oh,
actually.
circle of druid. Okay. What was that you said then?
I was about to say, if you're really spell-based and what area you're from, it really affects the spells you get. You're probably circle of the land. If you're...
I want to say
beast transformations are enhanced, that's Moon Druid.
Hold on.
Then there's also Circle of Shepherd and Circle of Dreams.
No, it looks like I went with Moon.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's the one people argue is broken. That's fun.
Yeah. So you have enhanced shapeshifting then?
Yeah, and I haven't shapeshifted at all yet. I don't know how to use it. So if you guys want to talk about that, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that may be worth talking about. So a lot of people consider that circle actually broken. Some DMs even ban it.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah, if you like using Moonbeam, I actually could tell you a combo your brother may hate me for.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm gonna write it down.
So basically, when you transform into a beast, you still have concentration on the spell you already cast, so you could actually transform into an animal while Moonbeam's still cast.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
You just can't cast spells.
Okay.
Yeah. Once you're in, you're locked in, but the reason for it is Moon Druids can go to like first level beast at very early on, and you can get like an extra 30 hit points just from doing that if you look at it that way.
Oh, wow.
And you can do that as a bonus action, so that means you could cast the main level spell, then transform.
Oh, I'm loving this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's what my wife does for her druid a lot, is she'll cast a spell, then transform, just to give her that extra hit points. Even if you don't use it offensively, defensively, it's amazing, because at your level, you should at least be able to turn into a bear.
Okay.
And a brown bear is the one I'd recommend, because you get like a 34 hit points, and also you can make a bite attack and a claw attack that do decent damage.
Oh, nice.
While you're moonbeaming somebody.
Okay, so while you're transformed, can you move Moonbeam? After, so say like I cast it and then I transform, am I still able to move that, or is it locked into that place where I formerly cast it?
I believe it says that you can still use functions of other abilities and concentrations.
Okay.
So even if, for example, you multi-classed and you had this ability from a class, you could use that ability as well, as long as it's not a spell.
Okay.
So
that makes sense.
Technically, a druid could get off sneak attack and rage. All right, gotta build a druid eventually.
Yeah.
You were officially banned from using a druid in any campaign we do together. Someone already called it, just in advance, you know. I don't want to make him mad. Oh, let's see. But yeah, basically, yeah, you can do. Okay, so at 6th level, you can transform into a beast with challenge rating as high as your druid level divided by 3. Okay. So next level, you can start turning into CR2s. And a CR2 is a polar bear.
Oh.
And I think by 8 you can fly.
What? I'm so excited. I had no idea.
Yeah.
So if you want to be completely evasive, and let's say you wanted to do like healing spirit or something like that, to give some more healing while you're in beast form, you could fly.
Yeah. How's it set up? Yeah, you can turn into something with a swim speed right now, so you could turn into a crocodile as well if you ever need to swim.
Oh, you know what? I think I actually did turn into a dolphin. Because I remember my brother gave me points for inspiration because I held my phone. I played dolphin noises. I wouldn't say anything when people ask me stuff. I just played dolphin noises.
Oh, that's great. I love that.
Sound like you're cussing in SpongeBob?
Yes, exactly.
There's my reference of the day. Good night, everybody. But yeah, it works. I know I entered a D&D tournament one time, and they had Moon Druids banned because of the combo they said was broken was basically an all-health build where you go Hill Dwarf, where you have an extra +1 to health every time you roll health.
Mm-hmm.
You have 1 level in Draconic Origin Sorcerer, so you get another point in health every time you level up.
Oh my gosh.
You take the tough feat, so you're gaining another 2 points in health every time you level up. And you max out your con, so you're getting a +9 to every health roll every time you
oh my god.
And
that sounds broken though.
Yeah, and go Moon Druid, so twice you can turn into something with another 30 hit points.
And it doesn't matter if your strength and stuff, actually matters because your stats increase.
Yeah.
Because you're thick.
Yeah. I can see how that's broken.
Crush them with the pure weight of you. Yeah, that's So yeah, and as soon as the D&D term's like, oh yeah, you can play anything except Moon Druid. Like, why? Then he explained it. I'm like, oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that would be annoying. Yes.
Yeah. I guess. What other questions do you have, like in terms of being new player?
I don't see. The only other thing that really stands out to me is just, and I was talking to Fallen about this earlier before we went live, is that we never do what our DM intends us to do. Mm-hmm. Kind of like with the one door example we needed to open, we were completely avoiding it. Or I don't know. I feel the need to investigate everything. That's just who I am. That's the way I play video games. That's the way I play any of like the tabletop games that I do play. Is I'm like, okay, we need to talk to every NPC. And I know my brother probably can't stand it because he's like, this goes on forever and I have to come up with a voice for every NPC. Or like every animal. Every animal I seem like, I want to talk to that one. Like, he's like, you don't need to talk to the chipmunk. And I'm like, no, I really do. So, I mean, do you have any tips on just like navigating towns? Like, how do I kind of fill out when we think we got the information we needed or whatever? Like, I guess to just help with time constraint, because our games have like, we'll spend maybe 2.5 hours in the same town, and I feel like maybe that's not necessary.
I'd say try and just may just need to get that's a hard thing to do because sometimes a DM will want you to spend more time in a town. Sometimes you spend too much in a town, like you were saying. I'd say a good way to do is to try and read your DM and what they want, because sometimes you can tell if they're kind of ushering you a certain direction or something like that.
Yeah.
But sometimes that can also be hard because our DM tried to murder us last night, but it turned out he wanted us to finish that encounter strong.
Yeah, and a lot of times, like, with me, I try to push the party along a little bit sometimes. Yeah. And sometimes not having all the information is kind of what you're going to go with.
Okay.
And you might learn things after the fact. It would have been nice to know, but...
Yeah.
sometimes not knowing everything is also realistic.
Oh, that's a good point. I was to say, so maybe it's not so like detrimental to the game to not know something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's honestly a really good point.
Okay.
Granted, some information could be detrimental, but it's the gamble you make. If it's important enough, more than likely your DM's gonna kind of either push you in that right direction or at least make that information accessible.
Okay, good deal.
A good example of that is I didn't even think y'all would figure out about the black market, but y'all did.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I just added it there. Like, you know what? Maybe they'll figure out about this later in the game. It's like, oh, nope, they're figuring out about it now.
Yeah. And I already told the town guard about it.
You didn't tell them where it was. You just told them it existed.
True. But I looked better for it.
Yeah.
So kind of what I'm hearing from y'all is that maybe your game's only as good as your DM.
I wouldn't say that, because while it helps, good players can really help a game as well. Like, a good example of that is me and one of the other players started out with a really, really bad DM.
Oh no!
Yeah, my first experience in D&D wasn't too enjoyable. But, he was a really good player, and he was fun to play with, but everyone else, So I'd say it's a combination of a lot of things, because every DM specializes in something, and every player really specializes in something.
Yeah.
Like, some players are really good at roleplay, some players are really good at the technical side, some got a little bit of both, some can just voice act or act really good.
Mm-hmm.
Some DMs have the combat down, but not really the roleplay, some have it vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
Some DMs have some pennies that you're using as your figure icon, some have these crazy dragons that they sculpted out of Play-Doh and toothpicks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it just depends. It's a game I definitely say you should try and play to your strengths, and just try and find some other places where you can either meet in the middle or really learn to do more, because right now I'm trying to learn more about crafting, because that's one of the things I'm not really good at when it comes to D&D.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, like definitely, as what he said, like play to your strengths, like, and slowly work at what you want to work on. And there's no pressure to be this perfect player or DM. And as a campaign goes on, yes, the DM creates this world and kind of is the storyteller. But the players are an unknown factor to the DM. So, in a way, the world is a mixture of both efforts. Not just the DM, but also how the players interact.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'll say, I think I'm a fairly good DM, but my first ever campaign I DM'd I thought was awful. I didn't do a good job at it. But I remember all the players played it great, and that's what really made it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's something you got to do often and get better as you go on. It's not something you can really do overnight. Like, I know Treywick has a lot of theater experience, and he took to it really naturally, but a lot of people don't really take to it naturally.
Okay.
Yeah, my first character... I have a tendency to pick harder classes, or like harder characters, whenever I start anything. Granted, sorcerer...
Wizard,
Yeah, like, sorcerers...
You start with sorcerer.
Yeah. Sorcerers aren't the hardest. I instantly went to wizards, but I also picked a wild magic sorcerer, and that was just fun.
Of all spellcaster, sorcerers are one of the easier ones to do, but I still recommend people don't start with a full caster, which both of y'all have done. How dare y'all?
Yeah. Hey, start with something hard, but like easy to maintain. Like I said, like druids, I say are a perfect spellcaster to start with. Like sorcerers, you have to pick your spells. Every level you can change, like a spell or two. But you can't prepare spells. You're stuck with it. So, starting out, I had to learn all right, how do I build a character to prep for most situations?
Mhm.
Whereas as a druid, you have that freedom to choose based on situation.
Mhm.
It's a fair point, honestly.
Brad said, Charles is wrong. Start with a party of pure spellcasters. I can
No.
build some.
Imagine what that campaign looks like.
I can build some fighter wizards.
Yeah, I was about to say,
They all have
You could
fireball.
Wizard Wars.
they can't hurt you if they're dead.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Uh,
If anybody's seen Blade Song Wizards, those are fun. Those are really
Oh, yeah.
fun.
What are those?
They are
uh,
essentially a
they're-
war style, like close range wizard.
Okay.
yeah, it's basically an elven sword master that has spells.
Hmm.
Oh wow, yeah. Okay.
That can add their intelligence modifier to their AC, gain like 10 movement speed, gain advantage on concentration for spells.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah,
Or not
they're-
advantage, they like add the modifier, but it's still really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it can be done because abjuration wizards and druids can be really solid tanks as well.
Hmm.
Mm.
So
Well, I guess we're actually ran through an hour really quickly, kind of unexpectedly. Do you have any like funny D&D stories you'd like to share?
Ooh.
yeah, that's how we like to end our show. Is we swap some funny D&D stories.
I don't think anything like too hilarious has happened. Like I said, the whole thing is kind of a joke because it's literally a party of 2 barbarians, a wizard, and a druid. Like, that
I know
sounds like a
something
knock-knock
hilarious that
joke, you know? Like,
Yeah.
2 barbarians, a wizard, and a druid walk into the local tavern.
I just love that dynamic, just thinking about it though. That's just funny.
Yeah.
Next time we actually get a campaign going, or like continuing our campaign that we've been doing, I'll have to like ping you guys, be like, because it is streamed on Twitch occasionally on one of my friends' channels.
Oh, okay,
so be
great.
Like y'all pop in and hear it, the shenanigans.
I'm
Definitely wanna see
curious.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so great. Well, do you have any more questions for us?
I don't think so, but I will pick your brains over like the next couple of times we play because I've
yeah,
got
definitely.
some really good advice from this. I appreciate y'all guys having me on. This was cool.
No
Like
problem.
I learned so much this evening.
Oh, I'm glad you did. It was good to have you.
Yeah.
Thank you for convincing my wife to get Animal Crossing, so I don't have to worry about her being on the PS4.
Yes.
And everybody.
And
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, I said trust me. I'll help you continue to convince her. I'll send her lots of stuff. We'll get her hooked up.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll send her your Twitter so you can just start spamming her.
Mhm. And everybody, check out her channel. I linked it down in chat. Also follow her on her social medias. That is playing underneath her camera border there.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to plug?
No, that's it. I'm mostly active on Twitch. Usual schedule is Monday, Wednesday, Friday at between 7 to 8 is usually when I go live. Things are different right now just because of the way the world is. So it's usually early afternoon. Somewhere between like 3 and
You've been
5.
on that grind ever since the quarantine's going. I'm good for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's a grind because it's a new Animal Crossing game. I only have to the end of tonight to get 3 more fish, and then they go away till next spring.
I need to get a chart to find out
I
what
can
I'm
hook
going to
you
miss.
up with that.
I need it. Oh, I managed to get the 100 perfect casts in a row. Like,
Yo!
fishing.
Oh my
And-
god!
so I got it within 4 or 5 days of
Oh, that's awesome.
of playing it, and I'm so great because now I don't have to worry anymore. I can fail.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
I just want to say I'm proud of myself for keeping y'all off Animal Crossing until the very last few minutes of the stream. Because
Yep.
I was even Because I was even like preparing for tonight, what we talk about is like, okay, just keep them off Animal Crossing unless things go south. Because that will be the whole stream.
No, I'm probably gonna go play Animal Crossing right after this.
Oh, yeah. I need to talk to my villagers.
Yeah, I need to go water my flowers.
I need to go play Persona like the Chad I am, I guess.
Well, I guess that'll be it for our stream tonight. Thank you all so much for watching. Check out Arlynia for Animal Crossing and more. And we'll see you all next time.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.